You and Tupac worked on a couple of songs. You had one song on the Cocktails album, and then there was another song on the on Ann Banks album. How close were you and Tupac?
Tupac was my homie who, when I saw him, it was like, stop, Pop, what's up, what's happening, what's going on, smoke one, have a drink. If you notice, Pac came to hang out with us at the video, me and E40 video. We're doing the Rappers Ball. Pac came out, just, pulled up and kicked it and shit, and, did some scenes and shit. And then Tupac was from the Digital Underground clique. My guy, Shorty B, made a lot of songs with Digital Underground, my guitar player.
Right.
Pee Wee, who was in Digital Underground, made a lot of songs with me.
Okay.
So at the time,
it was overlapping.
Yeah. Shock G, I know Shock from before Digital Underground. Shock used to work at the music store. He sold me a keyboard one day. And fucking, was it Music Unlimited or some shit on E14? Like it wasn't that, too far a separation. So Pac would come around, like in the Oakland days, whenever Pac would come around, it wasn't about music. It'd be like he hanging out with Shorty B and Pee Wee. I bump into him, or they come by the spot and just like, whatever, hey, what's up, sleep niggas? Them niggas used to smoke blunts. And that shit was hilarious to me, because we talking like fucking 92, 91, 92, 93. These
Nobody was smoking blunts.
They're smoking blunts. And it's like, I'm like, dude, you niggas take cigars and you pour the tobacco out, and then you roll the weed in the cigar paper. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. Who the fuck does that? And you leave little piles of brown shit all over the place, and the fucking shit smell like shit. I'm like, you tripping, man. And I would have bet all my money in 1992 that blunts would never catch on. Because I even got songs where I'm like laughing at the song, like, you niggas smoke blunts. So, that was what they did. They came around, they smoked blunts, so, I'm smoking a big fat joint. I was older than them, man, so I wasn't older than Shorty B, but I was older than Pac and them. They was like the little homies, man. Richie Rich was my young homie.
Right, he was close
and
to Pac.
Pac was Rich little homie.
Yeah.
So Pac would come around, we hung out. I mean, I remember hanging out with him and shit. Like just me and Pac and Shorty B just hanging out. He just was the little homie. I didn't know he was gonna be legendary Tupac. I didn't know the story. I just knew he was a dope ass rapper.
Yeah, I mean, no one back then knew when he dropped his first album.
And, even back then, man, I'm pretty sure it's got to be the same way now. You put me in a room full of rappers, I'm not fucking telling no rapper like, oh man, you fucking dope, man. I'm like, shit, you riding with Short Dog, nigga, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's that thing. So, and then I moved to Atlanta. I would see Pac in Atlanta. I saw him more in Atlanta than anywhere. But then if I pull up on remember Death Row was popping. It was Snoop and it was Pac. So them my homies. I pull up, I'm like, where's Snoop, where's Pac? I'm trying to get up in the party. Like, they be like, oh man, Short. So it was always like a quick like, what's up, man? I'm on the bitches, man. So, somebody like Tupac, somebody like Snoop, man, we can't hang out with each other for too long without like, man, let me go get on these bitches.
How did you hook up with Biggie?
Big hit me up one day unknowingly at an Outkast picnic. He called me over to the car. I was walking through the grass. I don't know if I was leaving, coming, going somewhere, but somebody in a limousine said, hey, yo. I walk over to the limo, look in the limo, and the motherfuckers just, all he said was, hey, yo, you got love in Brooklyn. I was like, for sure, because I don't really get no love in New York, so I was like, for sure. And one day, after Biggie blew the fuck up, I met him on a tour bus. We jumped on the bus and we was like blowing or something, I don't know, just chopping it up. And he told me that story. He said, one day you walked up to the limo and I said, you got love in Brooklyn. He's like, that was me. And I was like, no shit, like damn, like, now he was Biggie. When he said it that day, he wasn't famous Biggie. He probably already had his deal or already was like in the works, but it hadn't blown up yet. So I'm like, damn, okay. And we kind of like just made homies that day. We get a call from Puff. Puff Daddy, direct line, no questions asked. Everything is like, hey, Big wants you on the song, man. Need you to come to Daddy's house, New York, whatever the arrangement is, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Make it happen real fast, you know? And, you know, he hooked it up and shit. Bounced up to Daddy's house. And it's like a kind of like a party vibe that night. Bunch of people in the studio, everybody in a good fucking mood, everybody's talking. The song has Puffy's verse already on it and Carl Thomas's hook already on it. The world is filled with pimps and hoes. And then we just hanging out. So we got the vibe. Puff is asking Big and everybody, how y'all like my verse? Back then, Puff hadn't had a lot of verses. He had some verses, but not a lot. And he was still, if you listen to him on that song, he kind of like finding his way as a rapper. I remember some songs he did before that he wasn't really like all the way yet. And he was just, you know, he was proud of his flow that day. He was like, how you like my flow? Like, and it was like, oh shit. Like it was a party, man. And fucking Big was not writing anything down on a pen or paper. And I was just in the mix of the room, just laughing and smoking and drinking and shit. And then Big said, he said, all right, I'm ready. And I, you know, I'm just watching. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, like, you know, at that point in time, you have a pen and a paper and you write your rap. You go in there and say it. Tupac did it. Everybody did it. We did it. He didn't do that. So he goes in there and he says the first line, when the remedy's in the system, ain't no telling what I'm fucking up. That's not big deal. He's like, hold on, take me back. He's like, oh, start it over. And the next time, he just yanked it, one take, and just fucking murdered them. You know, like when somebody go in the booth and come out in the whole room, it's just like, it was one of those. So now I got, the hook is on the song, Puff Daddy's verse was recorded before we got there. Biggie just went in and just made everybody in the room go, ooh. And now I gotta fucking do a verse. And that's all that's left on the song is my little blank 16. I'm like, fuck. And then the homie was there. I hadn't even started writing my rap because it was like, when the fuck did you write that? So the homie was like, man, he said, listen to the song. I was like, damn, I'm gonna say after this nigga said that, what the fuck am I gonna say? He said, listen to the song. He's like, the hook says, the world is filled with pimps and hoes. We're just talking about those I know. He said, they not really talking about pimps or hoes. He said, just do what the hook said. So I listened to the song. I was like, they really not talking about pimps and hoes. So I was like, let me do Oakland. Whenever I'm get stuck in my songwriting process, all I have to do is think Oakland, and the shit just starts flowing. So I told a story about pimps and hoes that I know. Just a like little story. I talk a little shit on the end. And I think I can never say, I'll never say I out-rapped a rapper like Biggie, but I hung in there that day. And that's one of those songs that I feel like it's one of those hit records that was never a radio hit, but it still got this timeless feel that whenever you hear it, it still sounds good. I've even heard people who never heard it before in their life because they're too young. They hear it for the first time and go, I like that shit. So it's one of those songs. The world is filled.
Then you worked with Jay-Z.
I think Jay fucked with me, and I think a lot of people, I made a lot of records with New York artists. And the first ones I fucked with, I did the song with Biggie, and then I did the song with Eric Sermon, that Buy You Some. And that was a big New York record and a big Atlanta record, huge in Atlanta and New York. So I think that Eric Sermon, who he was the producer, you know, the Redman Connection, Eric Sermon was kind of like, one of the forefathers of the second wave and well respected all over New York. But then I did I had a hit record with Eric Sermon. Then I did a record with Biggie. And that's when motherfucking New Yorkers started going, hey, let me get you on a song. But the first song I did with Jay-Z was
a week ago?
No, it's called Real Niggas.
Okay.
Hanging with the song I sing, Real Niggas Do Real Things. And that's a song that Jay-Z wanted Scarface on. And I don't know what it was, why Scarface didn't do it. I can't remember the specifics, but for whatever reason, when Face couldn't do it, I got the call. And I remember the original version. It's a part in the song that Jay-Z says my name. And the version I got, when I had to lay my verse, he had said Scarface's name. That's how serious it was.
Yeah.
And Jay, I did that song with him, and then he called me one time out the blue and was like, "Hey, can you come do a hook for me in the studio?" And at this point, he's like Jay-Z, he's like blowing the fuck up.
Right.
I'm like, I don't do hooks, right? You ain't never heard me on the fucking hook unless somebody try to sample it. But Jay called, I was like, all right. And that song was It Was All Good Just a Week Ago. And I was like,
and that was on volume 2.
yeah, the shit I say on that motherfucker he had already had it. He's like, here go the words, say this right here. So it was like, he had it mapped out already.
Right, because you didn't do any verses on that. It was
Nope,
all just the hook.
For some fucking reason, he wanted my voice to say that part. And Jay, I fuck with Jay like that, man. When he did the Blow the Whistle remix, when he dropped that verse on there, he was doing that to jab at the dude that was talking bad about LeBron. I can't remember who it was. I want to say he played for the Wizards or something. I can't remember who he played for. Mm-hmm. But he was jabbing at LeBron at the time when Jay-Z was kind of courting LeBron to come be a Brooklyn Net. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The Nets hadn't happened yet. It was about to happen. And LeBron had the choice to go New York City, Miami, or Chicago. So, yeah, he did that verse to fuck with old boy. Right. But it ended up being like some club shit that I don't even think anybody give old boy credit for. I don't even know his name.